Good afternoon, viewers. I'm still in Hua Hin, but I've changed locale. The high tourist season is upon us, and prices went from about 1,000 baht some time ago, when I first moved in, like a week ago, 5-6 days ago at D Pastel, and they are now up to nearly 1,500. As one viewer pointed out, he said, enjoy the video, but your prices are incorrect. But my prices are were based on low season, and as well as, I didn't realise at the time, with Booking.com, I've used them so much and for so long, they give you work your way up based on reviews and things like that, and they've got me at something called a Genius Level 3, which is somewhat of a stretch of the truth, but it means I get discounts, so the prices that I quote on YouTube sometimes aren't totally correct. Anyway, to where I am now. This is more rural Hua Hin. It's probably only a couple of K from the town centre where I rode through. There's a little fruit and smoothie stand out the front there. They got this, as you'll often see in Thailand, beautifully carved local furniture. It's spotlessly clean. I'll show you my room later, and I'll join the videos on KindMaster. And the price is half price, and anyone who inquires about this residence will get the price. Now, the name is in Thai, so I will have to drop in a link in the descriptions to this, which will be my first time doing it, so that other people who want to stay here can. But it's 600 baht a night. Large soft beds, cotton linen, quiet aircon, spotlessly clean, fridge, all the rest of it. I'll show you the room later, so I won't go on too much. And it's half the price. So I might stay here a while. It's got a really chilled feel about it. I like watching the people go past, you know. You got the young guys on their noisy, souped-up bikes, and you got the old farmer and his wife on something that goes bang, 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 bang. Probably been going for bloody million Ks. So just to show you a few of the differences, things that this tree here is called mayum, and it's often used to see the fruits. They just grow straight off, like directly off the branch. They're the fruits there. They just kind of come straight off the branch. And the Thai word for sour is priawan, so they're a bit sour, and the locals tell me they are good for when women are going through period pain. They're supposed to ease period pain somewhat, but to me they kind of taste like Chinese crab apples with a sourness to them, and they're quite pleasant. But they grow everywhere, just a different kind of fruit, and the differences of fruit here are amazing. And just around the place, that's mango tree of one variety. That's the orangey leaved ones are your sweeter variety. That's your green mangoes. The locals often eat them with chili and shrimp paste and stuff. They dip them in there, and if you look, I'll zoom here, on top of that mountain there, see a crane and that, there's a resort going up over there. There's a great big golden Buddha and temple on the mountain over there, so I'm going to rent another motorbike and go for a ride. I want to go up to that temple and that big Buddha, see what's there. But I'm pretty pleased with this place. D Pastel was great. A chateau by the beach. Well, that was then. I enjoyed that. until the novelty wore off. But I'm here now, and it's comfortable and it's cheap. So with gold price taking a little bit of a tumble, I'm still over 20k up on when I bought it, but it's dropped, I don't know, maybe 14,000 bucks since Trump got elected, which, as it went into free fall, was a little bit concerning, but it's pulled up, and everyone just kind of offhandedly says gold goes up and down, mate, don't worry about it. All right, guys, talk to you later. And I'll put in the link to this accommodation. Very Thai. See ya. G'day, viewers. I was just sitting there thinking about some of the things that I really like about Thailand. And I was watching the school kids go past because it's 5 to 4 now, so the school kids are all getting lifts home and stuff with their parents and grandparents on motorbikes. There's hope. Hope it quietens down. A bit close to the road here. Hope it quietens down a bit later. Doesn't sound too bad in my room. I got one back a bit. Excuse me. Anyway, on with my point. There's the kids now. Yeah, get picked up. So here, it's got this old world charm about it, where people still work hard and they don't waste money. Kids respect their elders, and they sure as shit respect their teachers, because we've just had, last week I was reading the local Hua Hin Rag, and there's an annual festival where it's a day of respect for teachers. It's the Teachers Respect Day, and mate, if the little buggers that abuse you and carry on like they do in Australia, sort of kids here, even the high schoolers respecting the teachers the way they do, it might sink in that teachers aren't there to make their life hard. They're trying to impart some knowledge that's going to help them in the world. I know it's not as compelling or interesting, or hasn't got all the bells and whistles that a lot of the games and stuff that kids play, and the movies and things they watch. But it's real life. It's one person to another, people that has done 12 years at school and 4 years at university, and paid, personally, I paid $80,000 for my university qualifications. I had to pay the buggers back. Now, this government now is talking about reducing fees and interest rates and things like that. This Albanese socialist bloody government. And look, the way that things are there with housing and that kind of thing, I kind of get it to a point. I do. But university qualifications have never been less academically stringent or easier to get than they are now. Because it's about universities being businesses and making money. Anyway, I digress again. They have Teachers Respect Day, and what happens, you little turd burgers, who bloody, is the kids, the teachers sit down and they take their shoes off, and the kids come by in a procession with silver bowls and flower garlands, and they wash the teachers' feet with their hands, and they wash the teachers' hands, and they put flowers around their neck, and they say thank you. They say thank you for caring, thank you for working so hard, thank you for choosing an occupation where you said instead of chasing money, it was about giving back and finding some meaning. And yeah, that's just one aspect of the culture here. I mean, there's a lot of old school values and respect and things like that have gone out the window. I mean, they, the radical left like to call it progressivism, but I don't see any progress in treating your child like they're your best friend. And this is what I've seen as a teacher, where bloody mothers are like that, and they think they're progressive, and they unload all the adult stuff on their kids that the kids then have to process, and then the kids don't want to go to school because it's not as a comfortable environment. It's not their safe space. I shouldn't talk like that. It sounds cynical, but that's the kind of dialogue that occurs, and they have anxiety and depression and all this stuff like that. And if someone was here to argue against me, they'd say things like, well, was it better back in the day of the cane, and where things like anxiety and ADHD and that weren't recognised or treated? I see your point. I don't think it's better. I like seeing kids' problems and that recognised and remediated, and them feeling happier and better about themselves. But that doesn't mean that because a kid's got a diagnosis, clearly disrespectful, rude behaviour should, is the diagnosis is some sort of an excuse, and the teacher has to live with it every day. And if the teacher can't make good of it, then it's the teacher's fault. The parents are involved as well. And the kid needs to toe the line as well. The kid needs to be made to understood that, telling the teacher to F off or punching them or whatever, even when they're little, they've got no chance of winning. And they'll just, there's been, no one's ever bloody pulled them up and said, look, you little turd burger, you carry on like that, there's going to be consequences. But anyway, look, I told you there'd be discussions on here and politics and things like that, and there's going to be. If you've got something to say about it that's constructive or can offer a reasonable counter view, please do so. I'm not I try not to engage in confirmation bias, or I just argue towards my point. If you've got a salient point to make, well, by all means make it. But I think we've thrown the baby out with the bathwater to some degree. I think there's a lot of good aspects about modern teaching, and there's this shift now called it's a mob called Shaping Minds, where they've worked out how to convert short-term memory into retrievable long-term memory, and that's really impressive. I don't discount the evolution of teaching and education, and yeah, it does mean more work, and it actually really gives me the shits the way that these brilliant minds come up with these new ways of teaching kids that that are going to empower kids, because we need to have these tools way past rote learning to engage kids, to make things stick when their heads are full of this psychologically derived algorithms that flash the right colours and make the right sounds, and unless they're stimulated in such a way that the kids just bloody tune out. But there's new ways of thinking and teaching now that get kids to remember and retrieve that are fantastic, but that doesn't mean that there should be. Teachers are voted with their feet. There's any one time there's between 300 and 400 vacant positions on the Jobs WA website if you type in teachers, and up to 450 in the last month, because it's coming towards the end of the year, because of three things: respect, pay, and workload. Those three things. And so what's the government do? They'll bring in, because they're offering, so the pay's gone up to $120,000 a year, if you've worked 10 years in the job, then you'll get $120,000 a year, right? The starting money is not that bad, actually. It's 80 something. When I started, it was 50 something, but that was just in keeping with the times. That's 17, 18 years ago. So it's 120k a year, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, what about the holidays?" Well, the holidays are certainly good. They're a lot better than the depressing 4 weeks a year that other poor buggers have to put up with, but it's not the 12 weeks that's advertised in the position, because any teacher worth their salt is back at school on tools, a week to bloody at least 3 days, 3 or 4 days before school goes back, because you're not just there to perform the cycle of plan, teach, assess. You've got to create the content a lot of the time, and that's what I was getting at before with this fantastic new way of this shaping mind stuff, this memory retrieval, is that the education department goes, in its wisdom, goes, "Oh, that's fantastic. Everyone's got to do this direct, explicit instruction in line with this new shaping minds type stuff," which is fantastic. But when they started doing it 5, 6 years ago, there was no content, and they expected teachers in their own time, to this is during COVID and things like that, to go into bloody PowerPoint and whatever software they could find, and spend hours creating their own content, which would be soaked up by the kids in very short order, and you'd have to spend hours, and on top of your normal load, it's just crazy. But if I go into it, I've watched people glaze over as I talk about this stuff before, so I'm not going to. But finally, it wasn't, who came on board first? The private education system, the Catholic school system. They started posting stuff, to their credit, for free, for teachers to download that was good quality, direct and explicit instruction. And I don't think it's, from my perspective, it's just not all about direct and explicit instruction. There's a lot to be said for inquiry-based learning as well, where kids learn skills, especially as they get older, skills like researching and referencing and having the wherewithal to rationalise where they might find information pertaining to the requirements of what they're doing. But anyway, I might have to entitle this one Teacher's Rant. See ya. Good afternoon, viewers. This is my new digs. It's Poemsuk, Poemshuk. I'll put links in. So it's 600 baht a day. It's just simple. The bed's soft enough. The linen's good quality. It's beautiful and clean, very, very clean. Hasn't got a safe, this one, which doesn't really matter too much to me because I pretty much take my valuables with me. It's got a flat screen telly and that, but I haven't worked out. It just seems to be hundreds of channels of commercial Thai TV. So when I say commercial, sales type stuff. Nice big clean bathroom, nothing wrong with that. Shower, no view. It's just got this little balcony sort of bit to hang your clothes on. But for less than $30 a night Australian, it's got a nice cold fridge. It's all you really need. If you're going to stay somewhere long term, you want somewhere like this so that you're not paying, $50 a night, $350 a week, $700 fortnights, $1,400 a month. It doesn't have to be that way. Now, during the day, you can see the main roads over there, so there is a little bit of road noise, but there's nothing at night time. It's got 28 rooms only. The manager's nice and friendly. There's security cameras around all over the place, so that's not an issue. You get beautiful breezes. I like the way I've done this, all this sort of gappy. So standing here, anytime I've been out here, there's been a lovely cool breeze, and of course the ocean's over that way there. So I'm facing, from here, we're facing due west. So we get the afternoon sunset over the mountains. You got free coffee, 24 hours a day. There's free coffee there. There's a fridge full of cold beer and soft drinks there. It's like $3 for a beer. And I just went and had some lunch. I went up to that, towards that temple in the distance, trying to get up there, but I got a bit bushwhacked and ended up stopping and having some barbecue pork and a drink, and all up that was $3. Barbecue pork, rice, and a drink. So it's, yeah, for the budget conscious, it's pretty good, perfectly adequate. But the interesting thing also about being a bit more rural like this is you don't see many other Westerners. Services, you have to adapt a little bit. Services such as laundry and that, where in some places, oh, here comes the meat wagon. In some places, or the other places I've been, you just put your laundry in a plastic bag and take it to a laundry shop, and they tell you it'll be ready the next day and it's going to cost you $7 or $8. Whereas here, you take it to, it looks like a laundromat. There's just wash machines in that there, and there's a little chick there, and you know, I just say, I just want it washed. Don't worry about folding and ironing and all that, or even drying. And it cost me $3, $60, and I just come back and hang it up in that little area, outside area of my thing there. So that's reduced another cost. So the further you get away from the tourist areas, the more affordable it gets. And when I say get away, I'm like $6 in a taxi, $5 in a taxi to the middle of the touristy areas. I found another area last night in Hua Hin. It's called Soi 94, and it's a bit of a Wild West sort of bar area. And you know, there's no curbing on the roads, and kind of it's a bit dusty and a bit sort of out there, and you can see there's a fair bit more poverty, and it's, yeah. And I met this Australian guy there, Paul, last night, and yarned with him from the time I walked in to the time I left, you know, probably 6 beers later. And what a fascinating bloke, you know. He's an author and successful businessman, and he wasn't just all me. He, you know, you'd say things and he had amazing insight and conversation. You know, the people you meet makes all this sort of thing worthwhile. But I'm having an alcohol-free day today, despite the fact that Paul said to come and meet him again for more, you know, for another game of pool and a few more beers. I'd love to go and do so, but you've got to have every second day off, I reckon. Anyway, talk to you later. See ya.